Man's survival is dependent on three basic needs: shelter, clothing, and most importantly, food. Food is needed for the sustenance of life as it promotes growth and provides man with the energy needed for day-to-day activity. Owing to its importance, the present administration has put in place a number of policies and programs aimed at boosting agricultural yields and, above all, making Nigeria self-reliant in food production. However, high agricultural yields is a function of many factors and most essentially quality seeds. That will be the focus of this episode of Frontiers. I am Obiageli and our guest is Kehinde Jimoh, seed specialist with the African Agricultural Technology Foundation. Glad to have you on the program.
I'm glad to be here.
The program continues in just a moment. Please stay with us. Mr. Jimoh, once more, you're welcome to Frontiers.
Thank you very much.
Now, it is impossible to talk about agriculture without first looking at seed. What is seed?
Seed is a fertilized matured ovule that has an embryo that is capable of developing into a plant. That's just the definition. But to a layman, seed is any propagating material. When I say propagating material, either seeds or cuttings or vines. So seeds to a layman is any propagating material that has undergone quality assurance processes. When I say quality assurance processes, it must have passed through quality assurance processes that will guarantee that a farmer will have quality seeds for his planting. So a seed must have passed through quality assurance processes.
Agronomists often say that quality of seed contributes to a great extent to healthy crop growth. Can you throw more light on that?
When I explained earlier that a seed must have passed through quality assurance processes, so what are the quality assurance processes? A seed must have passed through certification procedure, and the certification activity is carried out by the National Agricultural Seed Council. That's a regulatory agency that regulates the seed sector. They have certification officers that go to the field to inspect seed fields. And what do they look out for? First and foremost, they verify your seed source, whether you've purchased the seed from an accredited seed company. They will carry out seed field inspection. And what do they look out for when they carry out the seed field inspection? They look at the cropping history of that land. The land that you want to grow your seed, you must have not previously grown the same seed, the same crop on that land. For example, if you want to plant maize seed now, previous years
we want to specifically look at how a healthy seed contributes to production, contributes to the extent of the healthiness of the crop itself.
That's what I'm explaining. I'm trying to drive at a point.
Okay.
So they go to the field to carry out seed field inspection. So when they carry out the seed field inspection, they look out for whether the seed doesn't have diseases.
Okay.
They watch out for the off types. Off types are varieties that are not that same variety you are planting. For example, now we have different varieties of seed for maize. We have Summers 42, we have Summers 43, we have different types like that. And these seeds, they look alike. Summers 43 may look like Summers 43. So they go to the field with their varietal descriptors. In this variety descriptor, it specifies the different characteristics of each variety. So they go to the field to check out all these parameters. So they watch out if the seed doesn't have diseases, because if a seed has disease, obviously it will affect your productivity. So they have some parameters they watch out for when they go to carry out this inspection. So basically, seed certification is to ensure that whatever you plant is of high quality.
All right. So what seed certification does is to ensure we have healthy and quality seeds.
For the farmers.
Okay, for the farmers.
Is a defined program that is carried out by the government regulatory agency to ensure that quality seeds are available to Nigerian farmers.
Which will lead to healthy crop in return.
Definitely.
Oh, all right. And now, we also learned that seeds are categorized into different classes. Can you educate us on this and the class of seeds that farmers in Nigeria are always using?
Okay, so in Nigeria, we have 3 classes of seed. We have the breeder seed, we have the foundation seed, and we have the certified seed. The breeder seed are the one produced by the research institute. Seeds are produced for a specific purpose. Like now, if farmers are experiencing drought on the field, seeds can be developed that will be able to resist that drought. Or if there is a particular disease that is affecting a seed, seeds can be developed to resist that stress. So the breeder seed is produced by the research institute. That's the first class of seed. So we have different research institutes in Nigeria with different mandates to produce different seed. After the breeder seed, we have the foundation seed. The foundation seed is produced from the breeder seed. Because breeder seed, they are usually produced in small quantities. So, and they need to be multiplied. So the breeder seed is multiplied into foundation seed. And foundation seed is multiplied to certified seed. So it is the certified seed that goes to the farmers. The breeder seeds are usually expensive because it's small quantity and they are usually expensive. To produce a breeder seed, let me just give you, enlighten you. To produce a breeder seed now, you select different germplasms. And these germplasms, they go to the field. If you are producing to resist drought, you test in drought-prone areas. So the breeders will now start selecting which one are resistant to drought. So at the end of the day, the quantity will be very small. Maybe they will get maybe 2 or 3 plants that will be able to resist drought. So the quantity will be very small. So this quantity will now be multiplied to foundation seed. That's the second class. The third class is the certified seed, which are produced by the seed companies. So it's the certified seed that goes to the farmers. So the certified seed, the breeder seed is usually expensive, it's more expensive than the certified seed.
Okay, so what kind of seed, what category of all these seed you've explained now do farmers in Nigeria use?
Certified seed. Farmers in Nigeria use the certified seed that are being, they get it from the seed companies.
All right, now moving forward, for deeper educative purpose, can you give a very vivid difference between seed and grain?
The difference between seed and grain. First, a seed is produced to address a specific need. I think I've explained that. Either you produce a seed to address a specific stress. Those stresses are like droughts, incidence of pests and diseases. So seeds are produced to address a particular stress. But grains, they are just, they are for consumption. They are not produced to address any particular stress. Then secondly, seed must have passed through quality assurance processes. They must have passed through certification activities, which are being carried out by the National Agricultural Seed Council. So they have certification officers that go to the different fields to ensure quality assurances. They go with their varietal descriptor to check that the seeds are of high quality. Grains, they don't pass through any certification procedures. So basically, you know, grains are just for consumption. Then thirdly, grains, seeds, they must have good germination because these are what the farmers plant on their field. So it's expected that they must have a very good germination. But for grains, whether they germinate or not, it's of no importance. Then also seeds. When you store seeds, it's expected that after every 6 months you carry out seed vigor tests and viability tests to determine if the seeds are still alive. You don't do that for grains. So those are the basic differences between seeds and grains.
Okay, Mr. Juma, I'll get back to you.
Okay, we're on break.
Back to you. Okay. This is Frontiers, and we are taking a look at quality of seeds and agricultural yields. We will be back in a moment. Please stay tuned. You're welcome back. Owing to some activities of unscrupulous merchants, a lot of farm inputs have found their way into the market. What is the organization doing to protect farmers against the purchase of adulterated seeds?
Okay, thank you, Obiageli. That's not the mandate of my organization. Okay. My organization is the African Agricultural Technology Foundation. We're a technology transfer organization, a non-for-profit organization. The agency saddled with that responsibility is National Agricultural Seed Council. And under the Seed Acts, there are fines for anybody that contravenes the Seed Acts. If anybody contravenes the Seed Acts, whether you sell...
There's no form of collaboration from your organization that promotes some of these policies?
The form of collaboration we have with this agency is on capacity building.
Okay.
Yeah. So we build capacities of farmers and seed companies, but that responsibility is for the National Agricultural Seed Council. And periodically, they go to the markets to conduct seed raids. They go to identify markets nationwide. They conduct seed raids to get unadulterated seeds. And once you are caught, you will be sentenced to 1 year imprisonment or an option of fine for a first offender. But if for a second offender, it's 2 years imprisonment or option of fine or both. So the responsibility is for National Agricultural Seed Council, but the collaboration we have with this agency is on capacity building.
Okay, these seeds we're talking about, are quality seeds expensive?
Quality seeds are not expensive. Okay, if you compare the price of 1 kg of grain, of maize grain, that is around 500 naira, and the price of 1 kg of maize seed, which is around 900 naira. In Nigeria, our productivity right now, our yield per hectare for maize right now, as I speak to you, according to 2020 FAO statistics, is around 1.6 metric tons per hectare. So that means if you have an hectare, your average yield is around 1.6. Compared to countries with similar climates with Nigeria, for example, Egypt, the yield per hectare for maize in Egypt is around 8.8 metric tons. Compare that gap. For countries like, for South Africa, it's around, for South Africa, I think it's around 5 metric tons per hectare. In the United States, it's around 10 metric tons per hectare, while our farmers are getting 1.6 metric tons per hectare. For rice, our average yield for rice is around 1.5 metric tons. For in Egypt, it's around Egypt is around 8.8, US is around 8.4 metric tons per hectare. Even Ghana, the yield per hectare for rice is 2.9. Compare with our own yield per hectare. So if you look at that gap in the productivity levels, when you compare it with price, you agree with me that even grain is expensive than seed. So maize is not expensive compared to what you will get from your field.
Okay, in Nigeria's quest for self-reliance in agriculture and the strong policy thrust of present administration, how can the quality of seeds help achieve this noble aspiration?
As we all know, our production, we have one of the lowest productivities level in the world. If you look at the
statistics, the world,
yes, say? One of the lowest productivity levels in the world. If you look at statistics, FAO statistics, USDA statistics, we have one of the lowest productivity levels in the world. And government has been taking several measures to address this. In the current Seed Act of 2019, the government has, because governments have officers that go to the fields for inspection, for quality assurances. But these officers, they are, because they are government employees, they are not much. So government has created a window for licensed seed inspectors. These are private people that go to fields to inspect. So as a private person, you can go to the National Agricultural Seed Council, register, and you'll be trained on how to carry out seed field inspection. So government is building the capacity of youth so that they can be carrying out seed field inspection for so that our farmers will have increased access to quality seeds. We have one of the lowest productivity levels in the world, and this is because our farmers they plant, harvest, and use the same seeds year in, year out. And you don't expect to use safe seeds and get very good harvests. So the reason why we have the lowest seed is because our farmers use safe seeds. They plant these seeds, harvest, use it year in, year out. And if we want to achieve
the same grains they've previously used,
they will harvest their grains and plant it the following year. In subsequent years, that's how the farmers do it.
Rather than going for the seeds.
And the passive seeds has been expensive. Like I explained earlier, seeds are not expensive when you compare with what you get from your field. If for countries like Ghana, that their maize yield per hectare is like 2.9, which is still very low, compared to countries like Egypt that have productivities above 5 metric tons per hectare for their maize yield and for their maize. And I want to encourage Nigerian farmers to continue to use certified seeds, to continue to plant certified seeds. The certified seed can be gotten from accredited seed companies. If they want to buy the seeds, they just need to contact NAS. They will give them the list of accredited seed companies that they can get their seeds from.
Now, since seeds are very crucial in crop production, are there any form of synergy between your organization and the Ministry of Agriculture and other agricultural stakeholders to help reach out to farmers about technologies that can boost yields?
I'll use the case of PBR cowpea, the pod borer resistant cowpea, which was promoted and released by my organization in partnership with some stakeholders like the Institute of Agricultural Research in Zaria, the Federal Ministry of Agriculture, National Biotechnology Development Agency, National Biosafety Management Agency. So these are some of the key players in the sector that my organization collaborates with. For the PBR cowpea that was released 2 years ago, it's a pod borer resistant cowpea. If you look at cowpea production in Nigeria, Nigerian farmers, one of the problems faced by Nigerian farmers is a pod borer attack on their fields, and it's capable of destroying over 80% of the fields. So this technology was developed in collaboration with stakeholders, and Nigerian farmers now have access to to these seeds. And also for the teller maize varieties. Teller is a Latin word which means protection. The maize is being developed to be able to resist stem borer and the fall armyworm, and can also tolerate moderate drought. So also this teller maize seed is yet to be released in Nigeria. Hopefully by December 2023 it will be released. So it's work in progress between my organization and the Institute of Agricultural Research and other stakeholders in the seed industry.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Kehinde Jimoh.
Thank you.
I appreciate you for coming, and thank you for sharing your thoughts with us.
Thank you very much, Obiageli.
We have been taking a look at high agricultural yields and the place of quality seeds. Our guest has been Mr. Kehinde Jimoh, seed specialist with Africa Agricultural Technology Foundation. Thanks for your time. My name is Obiageli Ugoke.